Michael Saylor has recently stepped down as the CEO of MicroStrategy. This move came out of the blue, but Michael believes it is for the company's betterment. We've covered Michael Saylor and his bullish stance on Bitcoin in previous videos. And today, we will get an update on his latest moves on Bitcoin and his shocking retirement as MicroStrategy CEO. Join us in today's video as we review Michael Saylor's new position and how his company has been doing recently. Before we begin with the video, we'd like to tell you guys that we appreciate all your support for our channel, so stay tuned as we will produce more awesome cryptocurrency content soon. Michael Saylor, an American investor and well-known enthusiast of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, has announced that he will resign from his position as CEO of MicroStrategy, a technology firm he co-founded in 1989. As announced, in the company's financial statement for the second quarter, Saylor will serve as executive chairman. Phong Le, who is now president of the company, is set to become CEO. Saylor, who is well recognized for being a Bitcoin bull, decided to embrace the Bitcoin norm for MicroStrategy in 2020. Since that time, the firm has acquired close to 130,000 Bitcoin on behalf of both the parent corporation and affiliate known as MicroStrategy. This will not be changing anytime soon, as stated in the news announcement that can be found on the MicroStrategy homepage. An extract from the announcement is as follows: MicroStrategy, the largest independent publicly traded business intelligence company, announced today that as of August 8, 2022, Michael Saylor will assume the new role of executive chairman, and Phong Le, the company's president, will also serve as the company's new chief executive officer and as a member of the board of directors. Mr. Saylor will remain the chairman of the board of directors and an executive officer of the company. Michael Saylor has served as chief executive officer and chairman of the board since founding it in 1989 and taking it public in 1998. Under Mr. Saylor's leadership, MicroStrategy has become a global leader in business intelligence, serving the most respected enterprises and government organizations in the world. It has also been a technology pioneer in the field of relational, web, mobile, and cloud analytics. More recently, MicroStrategy became the first publicly traded company to adopt Bitcoin, a revolutionary financial technology, as its primary treasury reserve asset. As executive chairman, Mr. Saylor will focus primarily on innovation and long-term corporate strategy while continuing to provide oversight of the company's Bitcoin acquisition strategy as head of the board's investments committee. According to the report, Saylor also had this to say about the new roles. I believe that splitting the roles of chairman and CEO will enable us to better pursue our two corporate strategies of acquiring and holding Bitcoin and growing our enterprise analytic software business. As executive chairman, I will be able to focus more on our Bitcoin acquisition strategy and related Bitcoin advocacy initiatives, while Phong will be empowered as CEO to manage overall corporate operations. Before we get into the specifics of the financial report for the company's second quarter, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the unexpected transition of responsibilities. The most crucial question is, how do you expect Saylor's new role to impact the firm's Bitcoin investments, especially considering that digital asset impairment costs were reported at $917.8 million versus $424.8 million in the second quarter of 2021? Let's jump straight into it. The report states that during the second quarter of 2022, MicroStrategy racked up losses totaling $918.1 million. This is in addition to the costs for the impairment of digital assets, which totaled $917.8 million. Due to the growth of 96.5% in operational expenses, the company also reported a net loss of $1,062 million. Operational costs for MicroStrategy skyrocketed to a total of $1.015 billion in the second quarter of 2022 as a direct result of the digital asset impairment charge. MicroStrategy's virtual assets had a carrying value of $1.988 billion when the first half of the year came to a close. This indicates that the company had accumulated depreciation losses totaling $1.989 billion between August 2020, when it completed its first acquisition of Bitcoin, and the conclusion of the second quarter. The value of an organization's assets, as determined by their carrying value, is one way to evaluate their worth. It is determined by subtracting the initial cost from any factors that contribute to the asset's depreciation. Because MicroStrategy possesses roughly 129,699 Bitcoin, the average carrying amount of Bitcoin is about $15,326. Additionally, the corporation mentioned in its quarterly report that as of 30th of June in 2022, the market value of its Bitcoin assets was $2.451 billion, while the initial cost basis for those Bitcoin assets was $3.977 billion. This represents an average price per Bitcoin of almost $30,664 and an actual market cost per Bitcoin of $18,895.02 respectively. Despite these small difficulties, there is little evidence that MicroStrategy is on the verge of bankruptcy. The financial report indicates that the company's overall revenue for the second quarter of 2022 was $122.1 million, which represents a reduction of 2.6% in comparison to the same time in 2021. When compared to the revenues generated from product licenses and subscription services during the second quarter of 2021, those revenues for the second quarter of 2022 showed a growth of 5.1%. MicroStrategy stock prices have also shown a considerable comeback following recent rises in Bitcoin prices. Although it has increased by more than 67% in the previous month, its total value is still approximately 50% lower than it was 1 year ago. Recent tweets indicate that Saylor is concentrating its efforts for the business intelligence and analytics firm on the Bitcoin standard. On Twitter, the former CEO of MicroStrategy remarked, "In my next job, I intend to focus more on Bitcoin." Also, he talked about how far his company has progressed after using the Bitcoin standard, saying, "Since MicroStrategy adopted a Bitcoin strategy, its enterprise value is up plus 730%, plus $5 billion, and MicroStrategy stock prices is up plus 123%. Performance of Bitcoin is plus 94%, S&P 500 plus 23%, Nasdaq 13%, gold minus 13%, bonds minus 14%, silver minus 29%, Google plus 54%, Apple plus 43%, Microsoft plus 34%, Amazon minus 14%, Meta minus 39%, Netflix minus 53%. How do you feel about Michael Saylor taking over as executive chairman of MicroStrategy? How do you think MicroStrategy will perform with his new position? Give us your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.